Punch the Timeline.
You're listening to Punch the Timeline with Jarrod, Trent, and Devin.
You know, today of all days, this week of all weeks, we need something lighthearted. Welcome to Punch the Timeline. It's Jarrod and Devin.
What's up?
I'm so sick of staring at maps, and I just need an escape. So here's a special episode of Punch the Timeline.
Let's see, you've been paying attention. I just gave up.
Last night about 9:30, I just turned off the TV. I was like, we're going to bed.
Oh, I didn't care to begin with.
Oh, man. So here we are. I just sent you a quick text. I'm like, hey, it's like always. I'm like, how fast can you read these books?
And I like how it was, do you want to read this or this? And for some reason, I'm like, yeah, we just talked about moving away from Batman, so let's not read Batman. I want to read Batman.
I was like, fair enough.
Punch the Timeline will be right back after this.
Before we jump into what we read, there's a little teaser. Spoiler alert, it's Batman. Our last episode, I hit everybody with the what's your favorite Rush song? I spent all day thinking about it yesterday. I listened to 3 Rush songs that were my top 3 over and over and over again. And I've come to a decision.
Okay.
My 3 were subdivisions.
Are we going from bottom to top?
I'm just going to name the 3 and I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
So I went with Subdivisions, Time Stand Still, and Free Will. Okay, Subdivisions is awesome. It's got that nice keyboard sound to it, badass bass part, and it's got that Subdivisions part that I always make Trent talk about. Time Stand Still hits me right here, and I'm hitting my heart because it hit me on a different level as my life has changed. After all that, though, I've decided that the best Rush song is Free Will. And let me tell you real quick why. You've got the crazy Neil Peart lyrics. And if you're like, when you listen to it, you're like, hey, the drummer wrote this. That blows your mind. The Getty vocals over the top, hitting all those notes. And then what really took it over the top was the solo. Everybody gets their moment in the sun during the solo. So that's why Free Will, according to me, Post-Crisis Jarrod, it's the best Rush song. You may debate or pass on said subject.
I don't really have room to debate. Like, they're all really good fucking songs. It's just the only reason I say like Tom Sawyer something is just because I have so many fucking inside jokes with it at this point. I've got them with you. I've got them with like 3 other friends. So at this point, it's like I have too much emotional attachment to Tom Sawyer to not put it up there.
How many? I associate a lot of Rush songs with I Love You Man, the movie.
Oh, yeah.
So Tom Sawyer is definitely up on there. The Tom Sawyer.
Tom Sawyer.
Tom Sawyer gets high on you.
Yep. Slap at the bass.
Slap at the bass. So real quick, how's Twitch going?
It's been good. I've been playing there's a new game that came out last week, some Watch Dogs Legion. That's been fun. I just found out that apparently some hacker group, ironically, a hacker group that hacked a game about hacking and put the source code out on the internet for it. So, oops.
Nice.
Ubisoft fucked up.
But
it's been fun.
That's good guesswork on Twitch. I saw your schedule. You want to throw the schedule out there real quick?
Oh, yes. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. CST. And Saturday and Sunday from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. CST. But that is up for fucking change at any given moment because I have 2 families that I have to deal with.
So, one day I was on DC Universe just clicking around like I usually do, and a storyline popped up. Interesting, it caught my eye, and that's when I was like, hey, how fast can you read this?
And my answer is, when do I need to have it read by?
Usually your answer is like 2 hours later, you're like, I read it.
I'm usually pretty good at it. Granted, I usually cut it down to the wire, but I'll get it read.
I finished reading this an hour ago.
Believe it or not, I actually beat you on reading it. For the first time during this podcast session, Like, you told me to read it Monday. And I just went, all right. I read the first 2 issues on Tuesday. I read one and almost all of another one yesterday, and then I finished the last couple of pages this morning. I was like, all right.
Where were you the night Batman died? From 1977. This is Batman number 291 through 294. We're going to go real quick. We're not going to go page by page, but the premise of this book is that Batman is dead. Batman has died. The word has got out that Batman is dead, and all the villains are taking credit for it. So, of course, like all supervillains do, they gather together in a secluded area and they hold court.
Yes, because that's what criminals do.
That's what criminals
hold court.
They have a jury. Ra's al Ghul is the judge, and Two-Face is the prosecutor.
And then we have the jurors of the Mad Hatter, the Spook, Poison Ivy, the Scarecrow, Signal Man, and Mr. Freeze.
I have so many questions about Signal Man, and Mr. Freeze is in his like old school gear. It's not the Batman in the animated series looking one.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, what is he's green.
So every issue is a trial of someone who has claimed to kill Batman. And I'll admit, this first issue of Catwoman, there was nothing in my notes worth mentioning other than that Jim Aparo, our favorite Batman artist, did the cover.
Yep, because Jim Aparo is a godsend.
He is the man when it comes to Batman. Catwoman is wearing a widow hat. Yeah, she's got the veil over her head, so she's mourning the loss of Batman, but still claiming...
Still wearing full Catwoman clothes.
Full 70s Catwoman with the skirt and for some reason a green cape. And she's claiming that she's killed Batman, but she's totally bummed out about it.
She's like, I didn't want to do it,
but I
had to.
We both put our hands to our head at the same time. This is why we need to record this shit. This is...
We think on the same fucking wavelength. I'm sorry, I just popped my knuckles. They hurt.
Is this... is this the issue? No. So, Catwoman thinks that she killed Batman by simply... The Batmobile got pushed off a bridge, and he's, like, drowning, and she's, like, sitting on top of a cage with her cats.
On top of a cage with a chest full of fucking money and a jaguar or a leopard?
It's like a cheetah or something. But anyway, it's like Titanic. He, like, reaches up to grab a hold of the cage, and she just kind of pushes his hand away with her foot and then cries.
What is it? She says, like, I had to choose, like, in order to save him, I either had to give up my cat or my chest of gold. So fuck him altogether. I'll just crush his fucking hand and keep my shit.
Fuck this guy I might love. I have a cheetah and a chest full of treasure.
It's a jaguar. It's a jaguar.
Okay.
I found the line. It's a jaguar.
Okay, it's a bird. Or a bird. God damn, this election is fucking with my brain, and I don't know what's going on.
Hey, Catwoman. She's friends of birds.
Catwoman has her trusty bird. Anyway, she thinks she kills. So the theme of these books, other than the trial, is that when they claim it, at the end, Two-Face is like, nah, son, you didn't do that, and here's why. And I've got to admit, it took me 3 issues to figure out what was going on.
I'm not going to lie. I had a sneaking suspicion from the beginning.
See, I should have, but this goddamn election has me all thrown off because I was like, man, Two-Face is really following the letter of the law today.
Yeah, I was like, Two-Face isn't that, like, granted, I know it's like you could fall into just it's the styling of the comic, and it's like, they set it up as a court thing, so they're going to make the former DA look like a following the books kind of thing.
He takes Supervillain Court really goddamn serious.
Yeah, it's like, I feel like if he was actually doing it, he'd be flipping the coin way more often.
And the coin is only flipped once, and it's by Ra's al Ghul.
Yep.
All right, so we go on to the next issue, which is the Riddler, which I found to be the funniest one and the most fascinating one. It has the most notes.
I liked the Riddler one, actually.
I'm just thinking about what I posted on Instagram, the sound effect punch.
Oh, the.
Let me see if I can
And then-
find it and give you the actual.
And then the gun sound effect of.
So it's thud, thud. So the dude, the letterer missed a U.
Where the fuck? There it is. No.
Page 7.
Oh, there it is.
Thud,
Yeah. Thud at.
thud, at.
Wait. Thud at. That thud. That thud. Somebody had to take the time to fucking.
Phonetically spell out what looks like 3 straight jabs. And then he blows off his knuckles. He's like, this Batman is so cocky. And he's just like beating somebody's ass. And he's like, ha ha.
70s Batman.
Yeah, there's a lot of banner. And there's like, it's like, that son of a bitch Riddler. His clues don't rhyme the right way. Or, and I like the part where they're like, in the court, they're like, if you haven't done a riddle, you've ruined your entire supervillain career. And he's like, no, it's cool. So
then
the Riddler
dressed up as Bruce Wayne at one point.
Yes, the Riddler starts to spell out his crime, and he's disguised as Bruce Wayne to rob this man. They're at this very rich man's party for his wife, and the big gift is the most 70s gift of all.
It's so fucking like realistically, this gift I don't even think would actually function for the thing it was made for.
It would be so heavy.
I genuinely don't think it would work.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, the gift that the Riddler intends to steal is a typewriter made of gold, platinum, and ivory, and its keys are studded with diamonds and rubies, and the ribbon made of silk from a Ming Dynasty robe, and its case encrusted in emeralds. Is his wife a secretary?
Well,
is she the most fancy secretary of all? Oh, she hopes to be an author. Okay.
Yeah, she hopes to become an author. That typewriter will not work.
Yeah, I don't think that the things could swing up and hit the paper because of the jewels.
Yeah, it would be so fucking heavy, though I feel like if it did swing, it would break immediately.
So really, you're just asking for the Riddler to steal this shit.
Yeah, it's something that you put in a fucking box and never actually use.
And then stuff goes down, and the Riddler is still dressed as Bruce Wayne. And Batman looks so confused, which they call back to my favorite part of this whole issue, that I had to stop, laugh, and then write down what I needed to acknowledge, is when they're at the quarry and the Riddler has Batman trapped. He pulls out a case of blue diamond dynamite. I don't know why that made me laugh, but it's like, well, we're using name brand dynamite here. And then Two-Face, of course, just shoots this theory down. And the Riddler not only find that he did not kill Batman, but he is for some reason fined $25,000
for the cost of the dynamite.
For damages. Oh, I thought they just fined him because he was an asshole.
No, they found shit to burn in front, to almost kill him with, to not actually kill him with, and then went, hey, we're gonna make you pay for all the shit that we just used to disprove you. Now get the fuck out of our courtroom.
Because the supervillain court runs on an honor system. The Supreme Court of Crime has costs. Shout out to Maine, by the way. I learned that in lumber camps in Maine when dynamite was heated.
Yeah. That was another thing that I found weird. I was like, when was he in a lumber camp in Maine?
Yeah, there's a lot of Harvey Dent backstory that we're missing here. So the next issue actually is Lex Luthor.
That one really threw me for a loop, actually.
But of course, because it's Batman and you've got Lex Luthor, they've got to tie it into Superman. And this one is the most fucky of them all. This is the most 70s.
Dude, this is like 70s like superhero sitcom levels of shit.
Because Lex Luthor can't just straight up murder Batman. He has to have the most elaborate, crazy scheme. He is wearing the greatest, like, god-awful supervillain outfit.
Yeah, that was my thought too. I was like, it looks like a shitty, like a really shitty, like Ireland-inspired Superman suit.
Luthor is wearing this green leotard with a purple cape that makes him look like he's the king, and he's got purple boots with an L. In case you didn't know he was Lex Luthor, he's got an L. So yeah, it kind of looks like an Irish Superman suit.
L for lame brain.
Do you want to try and explain the whole gist of how Lex Luthor accidentally murdered Batman, or do you want me to try and take it?
I can try and run through it. So basically, it's the most convoluted bullshit I've ever seen. So basically, him killing Batman wasn't even like part of his actual plan. It was merely like a side thing to killing Superman. And in order to do it, he had to get this satellite up in the sky, have Superman standing in one specific spot, looking north, looking up at the exact right time, while Batman was also simultaneously in a different spot, also looking north, also looking up at the exact same time. He happened to get them both doing it and supposedly wiped Batman's brain entirely and made Batman's body a husk, and then moved Superman's consciousness from his body into Batman's body. And that he basically did it so he could turn a Kryptonian human and then kill him, getting rid of the Batman as a bonus to killing Superman. So
there's a scene where he just 2 pages of him just beating the shit out of Batman.
Yeah.
And it's like he's beating Batman, but he's really beating Superman. So yeah, he gets the 2 for 1. And then he sends Batman's body into space. End of story. He has claimed victory. And then Harvey Dent is like, now hold on a second. That doesn't seem right. I'm going to call one of your henchmen to the stand because this is Supreme Court of Crime. And then he gets all of a sudden it's like, whoops. It wasn't really Batman. It was Superman. Batman and Superman conspired, and Lex was beating Superman's ass.
Which means he wasn't actually beating anyone's ass. He was just getting a workout.
Yeah, he was just beating someone, and the best part is like showing all the times that he's punching Batman, which is really Superman, and it's just a smile. It's like,
but you left out how we discovered that this happened, because fucking Harvey Dent calls in Superman, and
oh my god, I forgot about that.
Wall.
Yes, Superman has come to testify in Supervillain Supreme Court, and they're like, "Don't worry, there's amnesty for everyone. It's cool." And then Superman is like, "Yeah, here's what really happened." I forgot about that. I skipped ahead.
Yeah, you skipped like one of the most crucial fucking points of this. The whole time I'm going, Superman's gonna fucking show up in this goddamn book, isn't he? And then he literally bashes into the fucking panel.
So Superman is like, nah, son, this didn't happen. And they're like, okay, not guilty. Lex Luthor didn't do it. At the end of this one, this is how jumbled my brain is. At the end of this one, I was like, something's not right with Harvey Dent.
Yeah, especially with the line, but I give you my word, everything will be perfectly clear at a later date.
Wink. So how do you cap off a 4-part story of Batman's villains killing him? You save the best for last. The Joker.
The good old Joker. Can't ever go wrong with the Joker. Well, I take that back.
Oh, shout out to the Clue Master who makes an appearance.
Oh yeah, I forgot Clue Master made a very quick appearance in this.
It's a nice little
like
cameo.
One panel.
And so the Joker, of course, has his story about why he killed Batman.
Which is just equally as absurd and yet somehow also not that absurd all at the same time.
Having read Three Jokers and White Knight recently, watching the Joker watching Batman beat up that thug, there's just a different level to it. It's like, yeah, he's really obsessed with Batman.
Yeah, there really is. It's pretty nuts.
So he gets into a fight with Batman and accidentally, and what's weird is he puts that ring on. He puts this ring on with like a little spike with poison on it or something. And then he's like, oh, I accidentally hit him with that. And he started laughing.
And then after that, proceeds to dissolve his fucking face.
Yeah, thinks he's killed Batman, so he just like dissolves his face and gets rid of his fingerprints, all his identification. And he's like, haha, I killed Batman.
And really the picture, like the close-up picture of the melted face is pretty haunting. It's like Slender Man-esque.
It makes him look like the Question.
Yeah, you're right. It does.
When I saw that cover, I was like, this is the Question. So they asked for proof, and he's like, oh, I got this. And then here's the reveal that it took me 3 issues to figure out. Batman is in disguise as Harvey Dent this whole time.
And can we talk about the fact that recently, this is the second time we've seen Batman take off a mask to reveal his cowl.
Yes!
It happened in Batman and the Outsiders too in the hospital. The weird-ass baby episode.
Yeah.
Comic. You've got me doing it now. God damn it.
Evil Baby. If you've seen our Instagram, or if you listened to our Batman and the Outsiders next 6 episode, the Christmas issue, Evil Baby. There were evil babies, and yeah, Batman's running down the hall dressed as an orderly, and they're like, you got to get out of here, fella, and he rips his face off, and he's in full gear.
Also, can we talk about the removal of the mask that he's wearing for this is more horrifying than freaking Rex pulling off every human
face? Yeah, it's like, this looks like Two-Face is like, my face is like on fire and I have to get it off at all costs.
Yeah, it really does.
He's really like pulling. Okay, if you were pulling a face mask off or a prosthetic, you would do the reach and grab from the jaw and pull it off your head, not pull it like your face is silly putty. Yeah, I'm going to have to throw that on Instagram.
Because that's a horrifying panel.
So the Batman has decided to follow the Joker, who's off to go get evidence that he killed Batman. And Batman just swoops up behind him and handcuffs him. And there's a brief weird ass fight that I was like, I don't even want to like try and justify how this is working. But they have a fight and Batman takes 2 seconds to figure it out and punches the Joker in the face.
Yeah, because that's what Batman does.
Yep. And then the Joker realizes that he's been conned and just flips out and won't stop laughing.
And literally goes into a suicidal like state, basically.
It's still homicidal? No, sir. Suicidal.
So we're one step better, I think.
So
I don't know.
Because it's a 70s book, we have the well, gee, Batman, how'd you do all this, see? And he figures out that the Joker killed a Batman wannabe. Welcome to the Silver Age, where everyone is either a clone, an imaginary tale, or it's a phony Batman. So someone did get killed. It just wasn't the Batman.
It was some dude who was really good at pretending to be Batman and would go to sites where crimes occurred and reenact them. And he was just at a very unfortunate place at a very unfortunate time.
So say you're a superhero and people think you're dead, and you need to find a way to tell them that you are indeed alive. Naturally, the best way to get the word out is
fireworks.
It's fireworks that say Batman is alive and well and living in Gotham City. Let that sink in.
The Dark Knight.
This is not the Dark Knight.
Shadow.
This is not the Dark Knight.
Yeah, this is the 70s. He there was no Dark Knight yet. He was just Batman.
He was just, the detective.
The greatest detective ever.
I don't know about you, but I needed something lighthearted and fun. Even though this is about Batman getting murdered multiple times, it was a fun read.
But it was just the sheer premise of all these villains coming together to form court.
And respect it.
No one in their right fucking mind as a villain would do that. They would sooner just be like, the first person to say, like, I killed Batman, they would immediately get shot. And they're like, I killed the man that killed Batman. And then they'd get shot until there was only one left. That's how crime works.
You should check this out. If you have DC Universe, this is worth checking out. Just because they're like 16 pages a piece. I think I'm starting to think that is the appeal of DC Universe, is not the fact that you can get the current stuff pretty soon within 6 months of publish date, but going back to the stuff that happened, this is 3 years before I was born. And I'm loving looking at all this stuff from like the late 70s, early 80s, where it's like, fuck it. Batman got killed. Let's figure it out. And then like the Batman Outsiders book, where it's just like, I don't know, we'll figure it out. Evil babies.
What happened to the Man of Tomorrow and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like I like reading all this older stuff.
Yeah, that's like I said in that text to you. I was like, that's kind of our thing. We're jumping back into the past and checking out some cool stuff.
Yeah, like at some point I want to hop back and cover the, shout out to my buddy Mason, I want to cover the Dennis O'Neil 4-part Nightwing solo debut series.
You just named one of my favorite writers/editors.
Well, he was the one that did the first solo series for Nightwing.
Sold.
I want to find issues 2 and 3 in physical copy, because now I have issues 1 and 4. I just got to find that 2 and 3.
The
somewhere.
adventure for physical copies continues. Where were you the night Batman died? You don't know because he didn't die. Spoiler alert.
Other spoiler alert, I wasn't born yet.
I wasn't born yet. That in this podcast, that's a rarity.
Yeah, I was about to say, you've been alive for everything else we've read this far.
Yes, I am indeed 40 years old, in case you didn't hear me grumping and groaning about all the things that Trent says about George Perez. Like, if that didn't...
Oh, my back!
Well, that's true. I have a very bad back. But yeah, I'm the old man of the group. So I get a little irritated with Trent when he's like, I don't know, the art just seems a little weird.
And then there's me that's just like, it's like your friend the first time he reviewed shoes. I like it.
All right, I like it. Shout out to Jeremy. Go follow JWatch TV on YouTube. So that wraps up this episode. It's a short one. It's just
a fun little lighthearted one.
Yeah, we just needed something a little different than the whole like, and then the Joker beat the shit out of Jason Todd and said, I'll make you the new Joker.
And then the White Knight with fucking race riots and
yeah, we needed something a little like, I'm gonna pull my face off like it's Laffy Taffy and I'm secretly Batman.
I love this man, but fuck him, I like my money more.
I love this man. Just gonna push your hand off this crate. It's so funny. You see the Batman hand like clutching on, and she's like, push. And then the hand.
I mean, look, in her defense, even if I didn't know that was the Batman, even though I'm assuming she obviously knew it was, my first reaction when I see a fucking hand shoot up out of the water is go, oh fuck.
Yeah.
Seen too many fucking zombie movies to not.
So we will be back. Okay, I'll just tell you in the distant future.
Of whenever this is posted.
Be on the lookout for Batman White Knight, parts 1 and 2. Yeah, issues 1 through 4. Good God, can you imagine doing four parts for that series? Christ almighty.
I mean, we could deep dive more doing that, but...
We will deep dive when the numbers go up.
We'll deep dive some other shit.
We have shown we can deep dive.
Oh, you know what we could deep dive and drive ourselves literally insane trying to do? We could try and decipher anything written by Grant Morrison.
Oh, hell no. I'm out. I'm out. I cannot.
Well, you don't want to read Final Crisis, Grant Morrison?
No. I remember when everyone was so excited for him on Justice League. And they're like, he's going to write the Justice League. And it's like, this storyline is like, the masterminds behind this, he's like, white Martians. And everybody's like, what the fuck is he talking about? What's a white Martian? It's just like, I remember being confused and I'm like, maybe it's because I'm young and I haven't been reading. And then I got Wizard Magazine and they're like, what the fuck's a white Martian? And why is this significant? So yeah, we're just going to stick in our wheelhouse and read fun stuff.
So have you read Final Crisis by Grant Morrison?
No.
Oh my God, dude. There's a lot of Superman in it, so you'll like that. But there's a lot of Superman from a lot of other worlds. And it gets real weird. I've read it multiple times. I'm still like, what the fuck is happening?
So,
Fucking a half, dude.
and be on the lookout for Marvel books. We're doing
Yay.
Marvel books. I have my physical copy of Hawkeye, My Life as a Weapon.
Yes, the best one. It's the best one.
It shall be done. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope we took a little moment of your day and kind of distracted you in case you needed it, or, just gave you something to listen to. Fucking hell, I need some sleep. That's all I know.
Dude, you need to go to bed.
America, man, it's something else. I'm watching too much
I gave up on
CNN.
it a long time ago.
I wish I could. Thanks for listening to Punch the Timeline. Fuck it, we'll see you next time. I am Jarrod.
I'm Devin.
We'll see you next time.
See you.
Social media. You can follow me on Twitter at Grumpy Old Jarrod. You can find the podcast on Twitter at Timeline Punch, and you can follow the podcast on Instagram at Punch the Timeline.
You can find my social media on Twitter and Instagram at Good Guesswork, and you can follow me over on twitch.tv as Good Guesswork. I stream over there every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Feel free to drop by and say hi.
Social media.
Thanks for listening to Punch the Timeline.
That's not how we do it in Texas. A Not in Texas production.